Pinax TV suni ebusia infanchi akese emahwefo a wo share your platform we eso. Na me ne wo ka say a lot of issues na ekoso e wo Ghana hanum say na ye hye nsem na se dia na ye kwakopie mu e wo afienya. Na ye kopie mu afienya ho na chese Chinese fo yi bia wo ma be pie mu Ghana ha mo biebie companies ni ade ade na ye say Chinese company e wo ho no ma wo mo no wo mu dwumadi a wo mu die ene say wo mo manufacture mattresses mattress a yɛde to mpadua mu da mu no adwuma a wɔn eno no na eno na Ghana Standard Authority akwakopie mu the production site of this particular Chinese company a wɔn adwuma wɔn de wɔn yɛ ne sɛ wɔn manufacture mattresses krodua mu ha na yɛkye a yakɔkye wɔn nyinaa ene sɛ somewhere October 2025 ɛna Standard Ghana Standard Authority for ekopie mu kire mo se wo mo production no mo ye ne eniema no mo de ye mattress no sebe ade a emmoa enya de pa. They are not using correct product and no de ye mpa na say rubber bi no mo de hyehyem entuma ni mu na be ye mattress instead of foam ankasa ye nim say oda so asebe hunam betototo so ne ade wo ko science mu aye se polyurethane no enenke wo se wo de ye mattress no mo nam no mo de polystyrene and no mo de hyehyem entuma ni mu de ye mattress entuba koto mattress abeda so no ade enche no se wo ko jogging wonda nim ya chese wo hunam nyina ye wo ya sa na chese nkofo yi no mo sha ase a sebe wo mo manufacture this kind of fake and say mattresses a enye papa na ne bo nso fofofo Ghana fo nso de munim defo eno ne ani je ho enti ene wo ko sesa ya ene Ghana Standard Authority for akwakoche omo na wo ko che omo no enkomo twetwe na adoso internet ne so amanfo kasa pa fa say akom ni nkyeremu amanfo bi no mu kra biebie o mo mattress so hwe say mattress no de na hyemu because ebi no mu chemu mattress bo den ye chen say wa hyehyɛ blocks krada so and if some of the videos no up with regards to people trying to see exactly what is in their mattresses and I say mattress so called mattress no mo da so no papa ni bi anase fake no ebi ensaka videos no ebi yebekọ na yakwa kwahwa ba ne yeba from the Ghana Standard Authority mpanimfo nsem abeto dwa ni nyina no yede ebema ahwefo
Ghana for munhwade enne nam TikTok anyimre ya o be munhwata 849 anyimre ya hwe nam TikTok na mehu se oma arrest channel for ni bi se oma ton foam latest foam ya be ya to ibi chale na makoto bi na omo achi onkofu na mesi ma menti media no kakre bi na menhwe hwe nhwade ko ti ya sa we ni bia rubber we ni bi rubber ene shemu nhwade he ya Westers Mall China Mall ho na mekoto mattress we hwe nhwade ya shem
anya mattress rubber sa rubber ya omaye na yibidi asese TV hu ne ne ma hu ni bi ana se omaye bi ne yeda so woda so na honam nyina ya wo ya nim yeda mattress so it is en case yi cover yi say ni yi free hu na se rubber ne yeda so
sadi we ne se ti we like mo yo mu den mo ba mo say me ni mu kokura na nipa Charlie, serious o. Okay. Rubber.
Mattress. Yeah, papa mattress. There 2,000.
Okay.
Say a rubber.
Abusia, and these are some of the testimonies Efrinko for her eba. Na chese de muche mwane se and some ne koso about a year kind of saying foam mattress ya sebe China foi the rubber shemu sebe ye kan rubber ozo okoto TV you know she TV ni wona sebe as a rubber bi a nkrakra didi agro propro ni ade ase no bi ene se ye de ahyehye ntoma ni mu a aye foam anesa enso nka correctly na we say foam ankasa sebe memremre wo da so a etimi massage honam no ma say yes na Ghana ha de Chinese for October 2025 and ye ko close ye catch so mon shut down esan say niema na wo mo de production no enye niema papa ena omo de omo se daoda ena omo ahye omo ho ena omo hye afie nya honom no omo produce mattresses a enye papa sebe ye betimi aka se so harmful to nipa ye nipa dua no ene ye honam akwa no nti ene Ghana Standard Authority for akwache omo na me no ka say ye be akwohwe video for bra Ghana Standard Authority storming the premises of the Chinese official also no baby omo produces some mattresses we mu no ne said ye che omo esify ye nkwohwe video no emra.
Fuck.
Hello.
Let's use the uncle.
Yeah.
No. Go. Be gentle. Uncle. Put in. Go. Go. Okay. Okay lah. What's the gun put in for you? Put down for you. Ah. Hello. OK 了，大的，啥子这个？啥不行了？对呀，怎么回事？Let's go. It's okay. Where's the lady? But we have to hold on for the place to be long before we go. Yeah. Doc, watch out. Yeah. Please. Doc, we have to stay here.
Abusia, the premises what afienya of a Chinese company, a friend Jing Wan Yang. Mo de sa within their Jing sa. And just say Ghana Standard Authority for Ecopi almost ultimately said they were trying to resist arrest. Omone the Ghana Standard Authority for ne pre hunia there, but eventually no. Omonsa eso omumu a me no ka say de ya che omu a omo ewo Ghana Standard Authority for nakache a omu ehwe kwan omu betimi de omu afaso because we no omu breach emra ye di kan bo omu kokko ma omu warning say omu operations no omu nyai because niema no omu producing no the product any niema omu de yes mattresses no enye papa into omunjai ena China for we timi afio omu krom aba obi krom ede omu akase omu pasho monsa ena chese omu produce fake mattresses and say mattresses are enye papa eniema na ewo mu no omu de ye ne papa and at the end of the day no omu asa atete bo no so enti ebo no omu atete so no nso no de nipa no kwa sebe wo hwe ho neat kama wo be hu ebi another mattress no so no ebia the right product has been used no ene de fake na ye nyina obekọ na ni nyina ye pepepe wo hwe ho a kama nso ba ko bofu echen ba ko anhwe ya obedwen se bia nipa na wo ton ade ne de ama no ene wa hye da increase price ne edi bu kom enso ye ko hwe mu no na chese mattresses ni bi wo hono ma enye papa ye de rubber ene ye de aye ye de ahye mu instead of foam a wo mu de be hye mu no rubber ene wo mu de ahye mattress ni mu a be wo mo eton de ema Ghana for na no ena Ghana Standard Authority Greater Accra Regional Manager Yera Clement Kubati wa ba be kasa chechire mu de nti a Chinese for we no wo mo ache wo mo ene de fa wo mo operations ni nyina no wada ni nyina edi ye be ko na yakotie nanum nsem a wo de eto mountain so
this material when you press it if you want just let's do a demo and you see it has failed and these people are manufacturing this product, selling them cheap, which is affecting fair trade. Other companies that we are aware of, major companies, latest Form and Co, cannot compete again because these people are using less. In fact, the material that they are using is substandard, is cheap. So they will price their product cheap. Then you and I, my sister, your mother in the village will go and buy this one. When you sleep on it and you wake up, you have backaches. These are the cause of it. So we need to stop it here and now. If the country is on a reset, Ghana Standard Authority, we are resetting, we are refocusing, we are recalibrating, and we are going to rise. GSA of those days is not now. As you see, me and my men, we are fully jacked up. We are on the course to make sure that we rid this market of substandard products.
So now that they've broken the law, what consequences are you going
Yeah, fortunately, we have come with police, with the CID. All those who are the managers of this facility, we will pick up and process for court. That is what that's going to be the deterrent effect, because we have realized that after shutting down the place and giving them that time, so that we'll make sure that we develop that standard. They've taken opportunity to break down the seal, and they are manufacturing illegally. And through our intelligence and market surveillance, we have seen most of these products that are still in the market. And so how do we stop this? Do we go to the market or we come to the source? We have decided to come to the source to shut it down. We don't want to be mopping the floor when the tap is open. We're going to make sure that the tap is closed permanently until we get standards for this material that they are using. They've made it in a way that they'll put the fine material at the top. Now, most of the poly material that is substandard is put beneath. So you will not know. And through our tests at the lab, we have discovered that these mattresses, they have failed. They fail the minimum standard. They fail the compression rate. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. There are about 4 factories around this enclave. There are about 4 factories. So those 4 factories are going to be shut down simultaneously. As I speak, there's another team at the other side that we have dropped them there. They are doing the same thing. When we finish this, we'll meet again and we'll give a proper briefing. Okay. Thank you very much.
That is the Greater Accra Regional Manager at the Ghana Standard Authority. Yera Clement Kubati and Ikuti Nsema or the Etu Janache Trema. They are working tirelessly. Say womo ebe shut down this manufacturing company China for Nidia. Womo ede mattresses sebe and niema womu ni rubber emwa nipa apomuden. Nemom ababe gujaman so sebe maame nom yenuanom ma ne yenuanom mema binom kwakoto da so ebi kra to de ma wo ma afi ade be chi na akra no nya ne so onko school kra ontimi nsore mami I want to sleep, daddy I want to sleep, na ne honam nyina ne ya sa na China fo yi ene wo ma be hye Ghana hanom se ya ye bom kokko ne kra na wo mu wia wo ho nti ene emra no ene wo mu be di ne se de tie wo sa kwan no enso ye be di akire na ye de mu amanebo abre ahwefo yemfiri ensem we so ne nkopie mu the New Patriotic Party osono kokroko amanyuko no akachide a ebeto odwa se Kwame Bafo a woye meka ne se the Bono Regional Chairman edema NPP a yenyina yenim no as abronye ya che no ama ya remande no into BNI custody ene da ye de update by from the minority leader in parliament Osahene Afenyo Markins na ensem ne ba na che se omani abrese krodo se omuntimi nsuso kwan a NDC fo no epese wo mode abronye ene other NPP party ni mu enkofo efa so nti wo mu empene so na ena me ne wo kasei wo mu akwakopie mu the Dean of Diplomatic Corps Ghana hanum sei na kache a wo mu de petition akwakoma no na wo mu petition wo mu de akoma ne se abronye che wo mache no mu hu ne se enye emra kwan so enti ene Her Excellency Imani Kwadiu ono ene the ambassador of the Kingdom of Morocco to Ghana ono ene the Dean of Diplomatic Corps Ghana hano makopie ne nan ase a wo mutem se onye bribi emfa ho esanse se the NDC for ebu oman ni sesei no na wo mode wo nkrofo fa so no omugitu mu a enye ye na sa delegation we no Ahmed Honorable Ahmed na wodi animu a omode Jerry Ahmed omode sa petition no ekoma the Dean of Diplomatic Corps Ghana hanum say na yebekọ ne akotie wo manu de sem a wo mo edito maame anim ne de wo mo hwe kwan se wo beye ede ama wo mo.
To say that you are going to be remanded, you stay in cells until the matter is determined. It's never done. It can only happen in a kangaroo or a banana state. Your Excellency, there is no reason whatsoever for the president to be watching over this and be instructing state institutions to deal with issues like this. We have basic human rights, which one includes bailable offenses, that you have the right to be bailed. The judge in this matter is not allowing for any of this. And it keeps going on, Your Excellency. We decided to show a lot of deference to the diplomatic community, so we decided to come with this respected number of men and women not to come with any form of demonstration, not to trigger any form of problems. And that is why we have come here. As you heard my national organizer read to you, the general secretary of the party and the minority leader and the president in waiting, Dr. Mahmoud Baumia, sent us to come and do this peacefully. Please, Your Excellency, we need action. First of all, the first action is to release Abronya DC. That we do not know. In fact, this court has not given us any day time for him to reappear, for him to be released. This is how the abuse is ongoing, the onslaught. And this is a judge who has predetermined the matter before the matter is even dealt with. Your Excellency, the history of all hitherto existing society is the history of class struggle. When this goes on for more than necessary time, we are not going to sit down and watch. If it is about killing us, I have told my family, and I'm sure a lot of people would. If you see that your father hasn't come home, understand. That is the kind of business we are in. That this government, headed by President John Dramani Mahama, does not understand that the criminal libel law was repealed. And that he's brought in the state that we call the culture of silence again. Somebody says, Dumso is back. You get the person arrested. Oh, this is the thing. And is Dumso not back, Your Excellency?
It's back.
Your Excellency, so we'll leave this to you. And then we pray that you would engage your fellow ambassadors and high commissioners.
I would definitely share the petition with them.
Ebusia Honorable Jerry Ahmed ena elidi the NPP delegation ma omuko piemu ewo eye the Dean of Diplomatic Corps eye na kache Excellency Money na omuko pie ono mo chemu se di omo pe ne se ne tintini ne tete ane se omo en release eye abronye wonke bi na President John Dramani Mahama ene na paf omo release abronye because said di omo keka nsem no ne chese nyenne ne chena eno mu beja abronye court ne echema abronye enkowo eye bie na ifo akache until say asem no betimi ahwehwe mu apen na no pomasibre enti se mfie du na sa asem no omunye hu na no a na chese abronye eda so a ewo bie na ifo akache na nye sa na emra no etie na sese no NDC fo no etetia eye MPP fo ni fa odi so mutimi nkasa eso obumbe so obia eye din ewo kroma enti ade ne se kra na obia nye din no monhwe na ade no ense asem a Jerry Ahmed ede kodan eye the Dean of Diplomatic Corps no eno no na se omokrata omde koye ni nyina ne se maame ne nhwe na abronye wo munyi no because omahu se ombese wo mutete wo mfa hundie so ewo Ghana ha na enumu ena the national NPP youth organizer Yera Salam Mustafa wono nso ede kokobo akwakoma President John Dramani Mahama ene na abedi kira woni omoye adwuma se wo munhwe ne yie pa ewo di omoye nansen ewo Ghana ha say said dwuma omude edi MPP fo no communicators ne ade no ade a sabi omo soso a enye na yebekọ kotie Salam Mustafa wono ene national NPP youth organizer ninsema wode etudwa yeba ya to ansem no so ede amam.
We will make this country very ungovernable for them. And trust me, when the NPP says we'll react, we'll react. Because we are not a small political party. If for nothing at all, in the last election, over 4 million people voted for us. And if you count to our database, we know we have numbers. And if this nonsense doesn't stop, we will weaponize our support base. And we will make this country extremely ungovernable for them. We are sending this warning and caution to government that release Abronye. Otherwise, should anything happen to Abronye in custody, you have us to contend with. And this constant harassment and intimidation of NPP people, if you people don't stop it, we'll make sure that we react in such a way that you will not be happy with us. You have a country to govern, and we are here to support you and give you the best of advice from opposition point of view. If you turn us into enemies, we will give you rebellion. And this, take it from me. If we have to weaponize the entire youth of the NPP, rally behind our entire support base, I promise you, we will. Thank you so much.
Fantastic. Yes, sir.
Coming up.
Ebusia eye Honorable Mustafa na yekotie ensem a wode eto monten so na chese wo twema se NDC for enyai de omoye na chese they would also react, and if the NPP also starts reacting ewo krom hanum say it's going to be chaotic. They said they are not ready to allow the NDCs to infringe upon their rights, and so omo de be more back to back, and omo so my already say if the NDCs want it that way and omo nyina omo be kone that tangent, because omo hu say NDC for no omo ahyeda and omo ye niema bi editia MPP for no echitai for, and right now the omo ken nyina ne say they need to release Abronye, because the arrest of Abronye any proceedings ne say de koye no ade bi a entweye now ni nyina mu no sahene afenyo Markins nanu ada yede womo update ba ya na ochemu say womo pese womo de asem no ekodan the High Court, because Accra Circuit Court 9 kwan womo fa so womo di asem no ade a sebi entwa yie kra emfa ema womo na emom proceedings a womo twen sesebe judge a wotena asem no so de nsa be krata ase no krata na emada enen Afel Markins e de aba beto dwa secretary na aba bedru into de to Ghana fo nyina anim se munhwemu se the proceedings ne koye se de nsem ne koye na ye nyina ye nke bi ne enhwe se de emra no ana se judge ne etna asem no so no ne kwan so ana se nye ne kwan so on your screens in the circuit court held in Accra on 13th day of May 2026 before his Anna Joseph Nyenuban Kunsong Circuit Court Judge. Into about the Republic versus Kwame Bafo at Abronye. Time no 9:10 a.m. Parties accused person present, complainant state absent, and the representation DSP Emmanuel Nyameche being led by ASP Alex Odonko for Republic, and present Daniel Mate Ado with Eugene and Sam for the accused person. Into nipo ko jine muno eni abomudi. Now, say prosecution in the case of the court said this is a fresh case and would like to take the plea of the accused person. We humbly pray to withdraw the previous charge sheet filed on 14th April 2026 and substitute same with the one filed on 12 May 2026. Now, we share said they're not proceedings ne air corner noa and omashise was screens or say by the court let the charge sheet with number GRACCCD1 18543-2026 be withdrawn and be amended with number GR. Now it's a case no the edika omo file here in April no and omo sesa no de akọ May die ya na omo eba betena so asat that day no na ensemo a epie mu eba ye no na sabe de ye de toa so wo screens ne so de amount no based on that no na sahene afenyo Markins kasi ye nyina ye nhwe se de nsem ne koye na ye nhwe se kwan a omfa so di asem no nokre anase enye nokre. Now producer please scroll up ne ye nhwe the counsel for accused person no ensem we copy mo to shall say, my lord, respectfully I appear before you this morning praying the honorable court to admit the accused to bail pending trial. My lord, in this particular case, we honored the voluntary invite at the National Police Headquarters, and the accused person herein was interrogated and granted a bail inquiry bail. My lord, the conditions of the bail were a bond of 50,000 Ghana cedis with two sureties. We were served with a notice to appear before your court this morning, which has resulted in today's proceedings. And to know a chemu baby and 70 free by ya. Yeche Abronye na afe yeche se womo ebema no bail condition of 50,000 with two sureties and no mumiti and no mutu asem ne ehye da eno enema omo kopie mu ewo court sada no. And these are how the proceedings went at the court premises that day eno na afenyo Markins so etebiri dia beto online say yenhwemu said the same because the accused is not a flight risk and he will always appear before you to stand trial. I am praying on the court to take judicial notice of the fact that the accused person has a case before this court and he has always been present any day, anytime the court calls on him. Enti no mu chema enka bronye eye nipa bi asebe onwane nkọ baabi a ne nsem edoso ewo eye court onoma abribia court ne ehia no abronye he makes appearance, he doesn't run anywhere. Enti na nkomo hwe kwan se nkomo be ma no eye bail na wetimi akwa ensem ne koye na chese utie nsem a efri eye judge ne wo bade na chese ochemu se omu jan na abronye besan akwa kodi bone no ebiem ukan eye the continuation of this particular proceedings a obehu ensem a judge no edito mbonten so nyina ne no NNPP fo chemu se we de omu gitumu a enye ye e wo so mutimi jai abronye na okọ omu friend ebrebi omu hia na obeba na obetimi atoto na no said there ese and is already the MPP for Chema they need Abronye to be released with immediate effect. Now yebe konsem for eso ye konsem for so a na ye call the president of Ghana, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama na kache na eho na sabre de eye beka ne se conference bi akoso ewo Ghana hanum say eye the Accra Reset Geneva meeting na ye mampani His Excellency John Dramani Mahama en edisha nhyiemudie ehye so na mpanimfo akukudam na ebepie mu ewo eye sa eye nhyiemudie we ase na de pie mu ene say World Health bo ye mampani John Dramani Mahama abaso pa isanse ye hwemu a vaccine sike bia ya ye tuatua no mampani atimi abone homodene etua $22 million de ama sa initiative na wo mobo mampani abaso for working tirelessly to make sure say eniema ebekoye. Now a lot of people were asking says I'm meeting we no e na ye adenti eni ade but uhwemu a edwumeku akese a wo mo ebepie mu wase no World Health Organization, World Trade Organization, the Global Fund, and African CDC. No munyina representatives ewo sa jumedie we ase and is looking at kwaya ebibi no ebetimi ahwe niema fire pomudin wonsem yempuntuo sikasem investment wise strategies ebetimi ede ahye mu eni ade na aboa ama niema etimi akoso yie ede ama the African continent as a whole. Na abasobodi omodebo President John Dramani Mahama no yebekwa kotie mu ensem why they are praising Yemampanino for such a mechanism an initiative and ne modern bo awobo as a president of Ghana. Enti ebusenko na yenkotie ensem nimu emraye ba yatoa enkomotwetwe ne so ede amamu.
Appeared with a long retinue of people, McDivel and all of them, it's about 7 of them, and said, Mr. President, there's something happening. You know, humanitarian assistance is dwindling, ODA is falling. It is time for Africa to take its destiny into its own hands. And I said, oh, President Obasanjo, I have too much on my plate. I just took over as president. Our economy is in a shambles. I have so much work to do. I don't have time for another of your many courses. But President Obasanjo is not somebody you can say no to. He cajoled me. He commanded me, did everything in the book. And here I am, champion of Accra Reset. By the side, we have a lot of work to do. Even though we've increased investment, we uncapped the national health insurance, and it freed up $300 million of extra funding for our health system. And that is what has helped us to do a lot of the things we're doing. There's an explosion of non-communicable diseases, mostly caused by lifestyle, changing lifestyles. Our societies are modernizing. People don't engage in too much physical activity anymore. And yet some of our foods were invented by our ancestors to provide us with energy for physical activity. Africans were very physical. Today we're no more physical. We wake up in the morning, drive to work, sit in an air-conditioned office the whole day, close in the evening, drive to the nearby pub, sit with your friends, have a drink, then you drive home, and you get home late, and you're hungry, and you ask for food. And I use the example of banku. It's a doughy kind of food made from maize, high in carbohydrates, and it can be heavy in the stomach. And then you eat that and go straight to bed. And so we have cardio incidents, we have explosion of diabetes, we have kidney ailments, we have cancers, different kinds of cancers. And the treatment has been very expensive, and so we decided to introduce what he said, the Ghana Medical Trust Fund. In many households, if one of the members is afflicted by any of these diseases,
health, because we fundamentally believe that the definition of sovereignty is to be able to mobilize indigenous revenue and to be able to deliver services to their populations. Now, in terms of your question, how is our model changing? We are basically aligning with the sovereignty movement. This is what the Gavi Leap is about. This is how we've pivoted. Because we made a decision 2 years ago, as we read the tea leaves, as we saw the cards playing out, that we're not going to wait for the World Health Assembly to give us normative guidance on how to restructure, that we have to reform ourselves today. And we're quite further along in that journey in transforming ourselves. We are basically, the Gavi Leap is basically Accra reset in implementation. The Gavi Leap is the Lusaka agenda in implementation. And we've actually taken tangible steps to recast our model. I'll give you some examples of that. For instance, we are ceding decision-making to countries. They are now taking decisions on how to allocate prioritize their vaccines and vaccine budgets. They're deciding who to choose as technical partners. We've radically simplified our model after 2 years of hard work, because this is what we heard from countries. They said, we greatly value Gavi, but your processes are very onerous. We've worked incredibly hard to radically simplify and to end-to-end digitize our processes and to give real-time visibility to countries. We are also investing over $100 million in strengthening fiduciary systems and of taking solutions to the system solutions to scale. Today, every health minister is grappling with some of the constraints that are endemic to public primary healthcare systems. You know, hemorrhaging supply chains, rent-seeking and procurements, pervasive absenteeism, and many health ministers are deploying some very radical solutions to overcome those constraints. We just heard from the Honorable Minister of Health of Kenya about the distribution chain security solution that he's deploying. At Gavi, for instance, one of the things we've decided is we're not going to pay per diems on the ground, exceptions notwithstanding, unless payments are made through cell phone payments. Simple solution, but needs to be deployed at scale. And then, of course, we are, and I say this with a lot of humility, we are investing in Africa's future with respect to vaccine manufacturing and the dream of vaccine sovereignty, and they have every right to have that dream, and it is our responsibility to support them. You know, the African Vaccine Manufacturing Accelerator is an example of that. We deployed that solution as a subsidy instrument. We kept our ear to the ground, and we heard that Africa wanted modifications. So this July, I'm taking a package of interventions to modify that subsidy instrument to be able to invest in the pre-financing.
Hosted by the president himself, John Dramani Mahama, no, and I could see and some way Mufi by and I say, yeah, Bomampenia Baso, when it comes to the payment of vaccines, is an initiative that has been in existence for a very long time. Now, Mampeni, dear, were to me, I respect who come a Ghana, what tea and him, Amaya make a payment that now, Jumedi no ena mampeni esan etu nenumutu ekasaye edefa eniema ohun se we can do as a country and as Africa ebeboa yen na ama yapomudin ho nsem no etimi egina ye egina brande ewo man Ghana any African continent ni emu yebetie say there is Excellency John Dramani Mahama edin nsem we eto monten so.
They need to be able to invest in the ecosystem support that they demand, to be able to bring to the table demand guarantees, which are which are going to be a very important component of Africa.
Go on their own. But what they forget is that we're passengers in the same bus. And that bus is this globe. No country can live in isolation. There are some things we cannot deal with alone. We need to come together as a world to do that. And the only way we can do it is through the multilateral institutions that we have. And so if you say you don't want to have anything to do with World Health Organization, we're withdrawing funding and all that, they say it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when the next pandemic would hit. And pandemics know no citizens. They don't know Ghanaians, they don't know Britons, they don't know Swiss, they don't know Americans, they don't know Africans, they don't know Asians, they don't know Caucasians. If pandemics hit, they are indiscriminate. Today, he is having to run back to Congo because of the outbreak of Ebola. And it's ironic, some of those organizations that people are withdrawing from and gutting have helped to evacuate some of their citizens from the epicenter of the Ebola outbreak. And so the multilateral institution you thought was not fit for purpose, today you are relying on to safely evacuate your citizens from the hantavirus ship, from Ituri, where some of them are working as medical officers. And so we should have a rethink. We should act locally, but think globally. And so we do all in our power, in our own countries, to try and take our destinies into our own hands. And in Ghana, we are walking the talk, like the minister was saying. Since last year, we've increased coverage to 66% of the National Health Insurance Scheme. But what of the other 34% without coverage? And financing at the point of care is the most critical. And so, like he said, we introduced the free primary health care this year successfully using our own funding. And it was a joy to see the healthcare workers who work especially in the rural areas, from the CHIPS compounds to the health centers to the polyclinics. It is free of charge for every Ghanaian who shows an identity card and goes for treatment. And so that day we handed over equipment to them. They got scan machines, they got tricycles, and indeed there was some uproar about the tricycles. Some people misidentified them as ambulances and said, look at the ambulances Mahama is bringing. I mean, what kind of ambulance is this? You know, the tricycles were actually meant for health screening, so that for those who don't know how to ride a motorcycle, they could use the tricycle to go to the communities to do health screening. But then the point I thought was, yeah, so if your wife were bleeding and was due for childbirth, and there was only that tricycle in the village, will it be...
Abusia, that is the President, John Dramani Mahama, and our Kasa about the strategies at Ghana Hanum de Yetimia Fa, the primary health care near the idea Wetimia said the Beya, Apomudin Sem, Ebekosuyi, intine with the other African continents, and so on. There should be strategies at Ebeboa, na Yatimia boy and Hoban, if we are rear, any idea at home. Now, Yenfree President John Dramani Mahama, and Semiso, na Yenko PMO, Ewonsem for so, but still. In the NDC amanyukonu emudia na menewo kase die man of the movement and now the couple of the movement and now the can say man of the movement first yera Nelson dafia mokpo wono na sabre die ne ho aba asem amanfo etwe ne sere ne abasa na ne nyina no ne post bi a wakoye wo Twitter efa bibi bright home na bibi bright se ne na ye nimu no wono ena woye the mayor de Emma tema na mami enya appointment na manfo bebre eni gye de Emma no esign ne modern boy any mechanism contribution in the entertainment industry no Bibi Bright has really been known nene na woda na chese Yera Nelson da fiamokpo ono nso wish ni bie na wishing no na akwotwetwe nsem bebre de aba now meka kosi se nsem a Yera da fiamokko twetwe na amanfo eni aba so se oh so na sana apparently the husband to Bibi Bright Yera da fiamokko. Now let's look at nsema Roxanne Nelson da fiamokko wo troye wo ne Twitter handle akwotwetwe nsem we or say a very special birthday wishes to this brilliant woman, a sweet wife and a wonderful mother. Now, sweet wife, ni from him fam. From the entire family, we wish you good health and the fortitude of mind to continue to transform your beloved Tema as mayor. Tons of love and a mighty hug from me and the kids. Spiritus Invectus. Hey, and in some way, and a Roxanne Nelson, da fiamokpo Esquire, was I am Rashebejani, what they ever to Montenso. Na Yera da fiamokpo this and same way beto a year and Montenso no na for is it like just like normal wishes and like ebia or tro ediama on behalf of the Bibi Bright ekunu and said then like we don't understand, we want to understand ebusia hey ye ko dwedwe mu ana chese Bibi Bright ni kunu ene Yera Nelson da fiamokpo na eno na amanfo chem say wow enti MP for South Deyi all this while no sana na yere ene mami ene wan kama yehu ena chese MPP forces somwe enti na this man was killing himself in 2024 during Tema Central abana omo eto no or prigidigidi kontokwa for Bibi Bright in elections ni ade enko yie kra no ginemu no ma warning no ma easy for warning zana Bibi etuato now and before I started to videos of the reactions of Yera Nelson Mashebejani the South Deyi the reactions in Subaya were did danedi during 2024 elections a come any inchiremu yebeko na yakoshe some of these videos yeba enkomochiche no edoso yebeto aso ede amamu.
You can't continue because the process that was done irregularly. According to any issues. Let's go. Let's go. If you cannot do recollection, you will not be part of this process. Do it afresh. Do it afresh. The process what happened was so do it afresh. So we will not be part of this process. We want to continue from where you left off. We will not be.
So these are some of the videos of Honorable Roxanne Nelson Dafiamokpo, ex-choir. Abra na 2024 elections ne koswa na wo pregidigidi na manfo ebinu okoko internet ne so a abuzian some of the captions and some of the comments I think of all but is quite interesting. Ebi chem say we dey a secret aye dey see ama se be mu bi wo kra ye nim enti sana Bibi Bright ni kunu all this while na Mr. Roxanne Honorable Roxanne and your mudi nsem esuma yen afi na yet family and friends administration as I mean some have linked it to that say oh ye hwemu I think say there are other couples omunso hold the positions ewa aban we mu a yiri ni kunu nyina ewo mu na little did we know say Bibi Bright ene Yera Nelson enso beka those batch of people no enwa ene akose a lot of reactions and goes bars on the internet amanfo chema we die omudi nseme suma yen. This is a very big secret sabe anka asem we amba na say birthday we amba ene enka ometimi atena so for 4 years Bibi Bright betina so for 4 years that Honorable Dafiamokpo also be in parliament na ekoso and who even know say sana their couples and Tebi Chema was President John Dramani Mahama aware that these two were couples. And I just say omo for so some positions I can see wo administration we mu ana. Na say family and friends ne there everywhere e dey. So we share comments na e ba ne there enya asem ketwa na birthday no ne. Na me no ka say husband and wife any abusuafo wo mo akwa mu wo asori a omu chemu ana se omu koda nyame ase se wode afe baako aka tema mayor bibi bright nimfie ehu now ye beko na yakɔhwɛ except from the celebration no said the ekoye ye ba ya to ansem no eso.
And we are aware that the church is undertaking a couple of projects. And today being a day of gratitude. Gold we have none, silver we have none. But we can support with our widow's funds. So we are supporting the church to purchase some number of air conditioners. We are aware. That there's an air conditioning purchasing project. So we are giving it our full support. And so I believe that the natural thing to do is to hand over the support.
So we Honorable Roxanne Nelson Dafiomokpo ne yere bibi bright wo makopie mu wo asori a wo da nyame ase. Now they've been trending so well and shase free message a wo kocho ya etwe amanfo bebre adwene besi su say oh all this while no sana they were couples and we never knew we didn't knew we ni enim kra sana bibi bright and Honorable Nelson Roxanne Dafiomoko Esquire womo couple amanfo bebre eche omadwene won said this is a very big surprise and a very big blow to them because we say yenimanka and Kebeye a whole lot. So this explains his reaction during the election. Said the now could be chema the emotional mechanism attitude Naira Nelson putting it up during the elections no temano. Na 1 year they were wondering why he was so much into the elections or fighting so much for Bibi Bright in sana ni chocho mucho ne yere entina no nso agina na monso ahwodin mu am na wo pre de ama Bibi Bright say obetimi win election na se bi nsisie bia enye den enkonkoba abato no emu. And frankly enough this message call viral no amanfo bebre and Asha say react. We share some of the comments, though others are celebrating with her about how wonderful she is, the contribution to Ghana, other industries, to women, any other DNA is quite impressive. But the side that everybody didn't know, say nukunu and a year dafiamokon and a year amanfo wanwa bebre. The conversation is on and on. Ebi just say it's normal. I mean, to have two couples in parliament, provided they are all representing different constituencies. Where enye ade gidigidibia. Ebi su chema neche say President John Dramani Mahama is supporting and pushing for the family and first administration. Any ideas and say, how can a husband and a wife all be in the same administration? Neyere mechanism tema mayor kununso parliament or no say majority chief whip yes, and they are all working and they are all in parliament and sabe they are acting normal like nothing is happening and no mwa kakro mususu say. So president really knew about it and was sign suma omo and omutimi ma be bright ko jina ye in the name of NDC Tema Central constituency honum mami koba back and forth na utimi say that particular constituency was part of the 2024 constituencies that had a lot of chaos and misunderstanding, and Nelson was one person that was rooting solidly behind Bibi Bright akomni nchiremu ene na ye nyina ya ba be hu no kre ni say apparently they are couples omaware ewo ma a ne kra ne de o makopie mu ewa sorry a celebrate eye mama bibi bright the tema mayor ewo ne birthday a wodi no eso enti right now ne they ask congratulatory and birthday wishes flowing on the internet to be right no now man for so act surprise on a year the secret that has been revealed says all this while no na Nelson Roxen Dafiamoko Esquire Neyere and na Bibi bright that we didn't even know. Now, young consent for so and rather the update Ebrashe for EFA, the Minister for Communications and Digital Technology, Yera Sam George, who doubles as the MP for Ningo Pram Pram. Now, Nina EFA Bra Wokopie mu Public Accounts Committee, no enim, ana Honorable Abno say Asarin. And Nana Oteso as the chairperson, Nana Omo to Sam George and no FA any ministry no Jumedia Omu Ede, particularly on the sector of the telcos, no Omo Dembo any other dear Emma Nebe ye banter between Sam George and Abnasari. Chekran Sam George Ebeka say when him said this is an attack to his personality because some time ago no during a brand MPP war administration emuno na onunso eka public accounts committee ne ho no one say is an attack because onunso no ototo nkofo no ne ade ente bia they are trying to retaliate on him na eno na Ghana for bebre atom ano egu Sam George and say kopie mu say a whooping 109 million Ghana cedis bi afa baby a was Sam George etimi be chechire mu Ghana for bebre a join the conversation no mu chim say Sam George also etimi ba bonten be chim be porting as sika no ekoye so we share screens so we say hey the incompetence with Sam George and this government is beyond my imagination because tell me how a whooping 10.9 million has been effected for no work done and no evidence, and Sam George wants to tell us he has no idea whatsoever as a minister. God damn it. International so muchema meeting nasi ne kopie mu say sikabi yeah issue sikabi to for a particular job to be done which is about 10.9 million na ejuma no so aye hu so ye bisa Sam George so wontimi nya no e na aye banta for banta na they are still working on it and na there and e be say we chese Sam George ejuma na ye dey no no enya there have been other people also commenting way this guy is arrogant church elder. So do we have people who look up to Sam George? I mean, would anybody in their right mind recommend him as a role model for their children? We should be able to tell him the truth. This is not about being bold and fearless. This is foolishness. And Tinache says, Subanya Sam George done a diendra. Public account committee name no. And a beach said, Sam George we so a church elder. Na aso why pona say be obehwe Sam George aka say Sam George we we say man ne nhwe so de edema ye mma anase bibisa de ono pese o chese neni so o hye neni so e de ontimi obi entimi nsisi no mu girema we ade ase be nyansa bia enimu enti ebinumu enso nsem a mo de aba eno no obi so de adeba say why is Sam George being questioned for payment made under Honorable Esla Owusu? Political student enlighten us. Inti ebisumu chema na chese mame abnasare ensem a opese wodigu Sam George esu nyina no saa niema ni nyina esi during ono omo time nasa abre no mama Esla Owusu ene the communications minister inti Sam George okase onimo na chese odibem onim because sika na ye bi enyo no issue that is what Francis Eka inti enjai say hold Sam George to something that he knows nothing about. These are some of the comments near the idea eba with regards to the reactions of Sam George during the public accounts committee in Shimwe course were not yet to no. Now for those of us that don't know what happened and I said what transpired between Sam George and the chairperson for the public accounts committee, Mame Honorable Abna Oseasare no yebe konia kwakwashe how things unfolded. Ebinumu chese Sam George was rude. Ome patcho ebisu chema. This shows how incompetent Sam George is as the communications minister. Ewo Ghana ha. Yenkwashe emra na yentu ansem no eso.
I want to get something clear. Sure. The software of 10.93 million.
Yes.
We don't have any evidence of the company providing it to the ministry, even though 10.93 million had been paid to the company?
I met with the company. I summoned
Yes.
the company from Israel when I became minister.
Okay.
And demanded to see work that had been done. They said they had done a baseline study and that they were waiting for additional payment before they go into the development phase.
Minister, do you have a copy of their contracts? And what does the contract say in respect of payments to this? And Minister, those who facilitated the payments to that tune, what did they see to warrant that amount of payment? What invoices, what actuals did they receive or were they given to enable them push 10.93 million to the company?
Madam Chair,
This evidence should be at the ministry clearly if these amounts have been paid.
Madam Chair, getting the documentation has been like treading a needle. My chief director who sits here was director of finance at the time. A lot of the documentation ended up only at the minister's office, didn't even go down to the chief director's office. The Cybersecurity Authority has absolutely no documentation whatsoever. We've managed to pool a number of documents which we can make available to this committee. But, Madam Chair, to answer the specific question of what was seen before the 10.9 was paid, I would have said you and I were not there. I wasn't there, but you were there. You were the finance ministry. But it may not have come to you directly. But this was paid.
Did the audit say that this payment came from the finance ministry?
Yes, it was paid from finance.
No. In this, did they say
No,
the payment came from the finance ministry?
This audit did not deal with the 10.9 that has been paid already.
So,
But
Minister, I mean, let's be devoid of politics and everything. This is a very serious issue.
Sure.
And I want to get to the bottom of it.
Sure.
I was at the Ministry of Finance. This pertains to Ministry of what? Communication. So
yes.
let's speak to that. Devoid of politics, devoid of all the things that we want the TikTokers to carry around. But this is a very serious issue. 10.93 million for no work done, no evidence, as you are saying. It's serious. So, Minister, let's get to the bottom of this.
Madam Chair.
And then the 708 million.
I am getting to the bottom
Yes.
of it. And this is not, I told you, this is one of the things that has left me very worried. And I've referred it to the Attorney General.
I was worried myself when I saw 708 million
because
meant for validation out of 1.7 million that came to
Madam
Ministry
Chair,
of Finance.
you know that
and the
there is,
auditors.
because of your previous role, you know that there is no minister who can make payments on behalf of the government of Ghana without it coming through the Ministry of Finance. As Minister for Communication today, any payment I need to make, I send it to Finance. Finance validates it, approves it, and sends it to the Controller General, who makes the payment on behalf of the ministry against my ministry's votes. And so that's why I'm saying that this 10.9 could not have been paid from any other source except through the Ministry of Finance,
Yes,
which
but
was done.
no, that is what everybody comes to say here. But I'm saying that definitely it's initiated from the Ministry of Communications. And that is why I am asking, there should be some level of evidence for Ministry of Communications to initiate these amounts from their ministry to the Ministry of Finance.
Madam Chair.
You know, we work with the gift miss. And with these things, you need to attach documents. Finance Director, do you just get up and bring letters to Ministry of Finance to pay? Definitely, you would come with supporting documents. You heard the Ministry of Sports just leave here. And they had to confess that for one reason or the other, they were waiting for evidence that did not come. And then straight away, they sent it to Ministry of Finance. And the auditors flagged it. So I'm asking, there was no evidence of work done. There was nothing. And then this was pushed through for Ministry of Finance to pay. Then we all have a big problem in this country. We all have a big problem in this country. If this is how the payments were effected, we all have a big problem in this country. Finance Director, tell me something.
Yes, thank you very much, Madam Chair and Chairman, for the opportunity. As you rightly said, finance will not pay anything without it passing through the user ministry. And so a letter comes to the ministry, and then we would process it through the gift mix. And so that is exactly what it is. So as at
So on what basis was this process through the gift mix? It is worrying. It is very worrying that there's no evidence of work done, and the minister is saying 10.93 million was paid for the software and civil works to the tune of 3.4 million, and now the auditors are saying that you have come up with a request of 708 million. I was of the view that usually with capital expenditure, you pay for work done. So for the ministry to push through 708 million Ghana cedis when work hadn't been done, I also have a problem with that one. And maybe that is why the auditors flagged it and said they needed justification before we push this.
So Madam Chair, so that
yes, Minister.
We put this in clear perspective, there are two separate issues that are before the committee here. The 780 million Ghana cedis, which has been flagged, sorry, 708 million Ghana cedis, which has been flagged by the auditors, which are requests for payments that were made from the Ministry of Communication in 2022 to the Ministry of Finance, were not paid in 2022, were not paid in 2023, were not paid in 2024. And when Honorable Atuforsen took over in 2025 and caused the special audit to be done, flagged it again and said, we are not seeing the required documentation to support that payment. That is one issue. The other issue is what has already been paid, which was paid in 2021. Part of those payments were done as under the consideration of advance mobilization. But we all know that advanced mobilization should not exceed 15% of the contract volume. And so when you have, Madam Chair, if you please let me, if you have a contract where the whole contract sum, both building and software, is about $50 million. About 50 million, was in the region of about 50 million for the entire project. And already you are having 14.350 for the two, yes.
For the two projects.
For the two, for
okay.
both software
and hardware.
And hardware.
Yes.
I'll get you the full exact amount. But for example, I have a letter here which was dated 11th of February. Sorry, 11th of August. 2022 from the Ministry of Communication, 11th August 2022 from the Ministry of Communication to the Honorable Minister for Finance. Heading, payment request, technical operationalization. Sorry, there's somebody who thinks they own my phone. They keep calling repeatedly.
Minister, I mean, I understand that. So 1 minute, let me just.
Okay.
Now you are saying that the software of 10.93 million and then the civil works, it was because advanced mobilization was paid. But even that one, it was breached. So, I mean, yeah, it was.
That's why I'm reading this letter, because that payment.
Because
the conversation and I say Sam George and a to nano if a software be susu say sikano some 10.9 million Ghana cedis na eno and as I break the sikani chemwa a finance ministry ama ye tue say sikano so be sine software ni hu adwuma ni hu eno na a pack a public account committee epeso mu humu na Sam George etimi chemu na Sam George nso cheche mu say at the end the process ne bebre if our ministry the for finance ministry na payment na ekofa auditors general ne controller ne ade and san umutia enti they say no eno na amafo chem say they are quite disappointed in someone like Sam George say the okasa ne say the o chese obebo adwuma na all of a sudden 10.9 million beko ne ehu de this can here de omra na omechni nti ye how things are going to eventually unfold a park committee no enim. Now let's move on to other matters. Now ye call ensem foforo eso dia ye ensem nase no ene ye mahwefo enya ho ntiase se Ghana ha Ghana Standard Authority wo makopie mu afienya ma wo makwakoche Chinese nationals bia wo mo producing mattresses a wo de rubber na ahye mu instead of the normal foam a wo de be hye mu ama mattress no aye memremre sebe wo da so a wo be relaxed and it will serve its purpose as a mattress no say no mattress ne serve purpose no as a mechanism punishment to a man for ebe kwa akoto ne bonso fofofo meanwhile ya hye wo mo say wo mo enjoy production and no mo gusu production amafo ebe abe reacting. Now we've gotten some Kumawood actors wo mo nso abe reacted to this particular incident. One person awaba bonten ababe kasa a share ni experience with this so called inferior mattresses produced by this Chinese nationals no Kwejo Nkansa Lewin. Now Kwejo Nkansa Lewin na sabre de ono so ababe share ni experience on the mattresses aye kan wasem say ebi wa beda so be wie na honam ye wo yane ade ono so share ni experience say de wo koto mattress bi a eno nso mattress na ababe che ni shege na wakobie mu kra hwe say rubber ne wo mu ana say foam ya ye nimia bi na ewo mu yenko na abusuafo yenko hwe Kwejo Nkansa Lewin ne nsema wo de etudwa ene ono nso na no de sema wo de ababeto monten so with regards to this particular foam and as a mattress ensema ejintren han wo social media ne ba enye ono nko a na wakasa da other people mo nso akasa wo ho a yebekọ akwakotie mu yenko na yenkohwe Kwejo Nkansa emra. Where is the video? Ebusiafo monfanche the video will be quite ready soon na yakwa kwehwe video no but said na ye ka no Chinese for ye as already Ghana Standard Authority for akwakwachi omo no na ye ka wo mo ho asem isanse say Ghana Standard for trema na che say wo mo edi kan ebo mo kokko say ye production na wo mo ye ewo afienya no with regards to some mattresses no eniema wo mo ede no enya de a ye papa enti wo mu that was somewhere October 2025 and omo de omo course wa ya ene yakochi omo ewo afienya Chinese for mienu miensa bi ya shut down factory no as abe de Ghana Standard Authority for their betudwa so common so a some mattresses ne doors pa na no na ye kire mu se amanfo bebre ahase ebi num kra kire mu ma betuto bi China malls ahodo nim asa ukọ those China malls na na ukọ ekohu sa videos no ho ye pa enti this China malls ebi makototo bi wo ho no apparently no they are experiencing what the Ghana Standard Authority for no ka ho asem eno na Kumawood actor Kwejo Nkansa Lewin nso ababe kasa de afa ho yenkotie no emra.
Adolfo, good morning. And then the bear MCN was and Rechi, no man say Ghana and Penifubin, I stop company be, I could company down, company some mattress. I say mattress and say you phone the a rubber. Oko to TV, the share home, I am a TV in Empire, and I feel share home. Say a man for me, the empire, turn for the empire. Now says in Panadian, become Panay. Now a bass as they be, but I'm pebble so bad 2 weeks in. I never to be she as ya pumme. But when you have any beer, I want to me ya. Now the beside to the Mesram. Mamma could jam in, I'm a fasakai. Now from now, that's Munko try me say beer. What the rubber going for good rubber going for my day? A pass I did to be second and pen for. I'm moving in my ever Ghana. I'm maximum for ya dasu, and a dino. Move my ye. Woman in my ye. Say ya. No, my allow, say ya. No more stop on in tem. That's a better swine is where we are dear, we na fa ko ba safe de hu kama to si be na kama ko che ho awese ampa sai kama me sem ko da me fa sakai me ba me fa sakana me ko twa mempa me ko twa mattress say rubber me hey me ba mu nyina so empani ni hwe anything minim adequation machi na me twa pa na say rubber betu nyakopon na ko timi sika wo de rubber ya moto sai dey Mathieu ewe manka because baby rubber be kind rubber hey everybody yakufon se di we na mo dia mattress mo ja fomu no hey ke etatasu hey rubber hey hey wo bi antane pa chaumpa fasika chaumpa wono umpa onya tokwa chaumpa ha adefo nyo adefo tana fo adefo enyo ye pakayefo ye pempefo ye petivefo enyo mwe wo da hona pendra be tia oto na oto bonyum tana ha de mayemini mempa roba etire machi yem yei kwajimisika mene kora fa amia na be de wo ho abomudin mo obi ade mpa aba jinsika na mbati ha eja machi sikana she sikano ashi aye chana fo aye mene mananje
Kojon Council Lewin ena onu so etremu a na chese empanimfo wo Ghana kodwem ha enem so omunyom adwuma yie because tell us why e betina ha man krofo we abesi factories abeye empa no omode rubber ahyemu obeda so den sebe empa nka wakọ a whole day with stress na nka wokoda sorry refreshed and renew no obesorry na chense okotu galamse e wonem eno na Lewin chem se wono so experience bi enti na say no obi ansha ase se wo papa ne mpanimu ahwe adekodi a ehyemu say ye foam anase eye rubber ni nyina mu no another Kumawood actor wono so reacted to eye ensem way eye yaudabo na yaudabo de wo tremu a ewo mu se China for no masemo enye dede na so kwan a Ghana Standard Authority for ekoche wo mo ase omu jojo wo mo ni ade no onu de ohu ne se entwa yie because Ghana ni di hye bi kopiemu amanone na wo mu treat ne sa ebeye ye dana ye ba kotie yaudabo onu nso se de wo de ensem no eto monten so ye ba ya to aso de amamo
Ghana for mesre video da sui mo me hwe ne tew na de wo found ye mra meka.
Fuck.
Let's do the uncle.
Hello.
Let's do the uncle.
Yeah.
No. Go.
Be gentle.
Uncle. Put in. Go. Hold on. Go. Okay. Uncle. Okay lah. What's going put in for you? Put down for you. Ah? Hello. Put down. OK 了，大的，啥子这个？
Me pacho mu nyina mo hu video e dawe. Hwe enye fo, enye fe. so o Ghana ni ko bi kruso na ye gunani masia ya na ye ya hwenansen abamu ye ko South Africa ya South Africa fo gunani masia de camera to no so e hwenani ya ye hwese de ye sole ye papa Mahama eni Mr. Okwajato ena ma blay silie abanani ye hu abrofo how we treat you hey Ghana for akwantu mu abrochile so nin krata na mabluchile betima na ntia abrochile sa onto so wanya asam enumpo ye chewa yamfa kamera ntoso hwese de ye che abrofo de kamera to mu so jojo aduru ba bi afie ko chini pakwa JS tam BBC ni cameras Ghana bloggers nyina di ye tisi enko ni ekochi obi ni enko twa na meto social media ya besele Mr. IGP ya besele migration penifo ya besele omampani ebinum treatment a wom de foreigners from asfem hwese de obi papa mu jojo no hwes na wona watu kwan obi ye se ya enti wani beje wachi nipa na wachi no kamera so na o jojo no tete no o pese enye den kohwe comment amanfo di edi matam as security personnel watch nipa no camera ne bloggers the whole Ghana media na emetwa ni obi ahu se wo ye adwuma no enti sa wo ba bia Ghana hanko ana Ghana ni koye passport ana so koye bibia yetimi hwe nanim dini a ka kire ne se mfie we oboa nso yenim Ghana fo wa blochila age different yenye sadie no yenye sa how am treat foreigners na bad ene ka akokora na migration fo gina kwa mfimfi ni agina oka ni ehwese foreigner tima na sana wo meti abuluchire ye wo manka wo munyina ma Ghana nipa dodo senate abuluchire okọ ya no nya ne paper ye treat ni pasa migration fo enye fe this time ye kochi na obi kura wo ye meda kromfo kura ne ye che ne de ade katanenim until say ye be prudi ye be kaso ye guilty obedi atum so wadi bone is too much ni stop ade no aden wo abrochire obi bi wo abrochire hu video ya meselo share na like kosise bedroom panifo anim na wo mo stop ade we na obi etukwan into kwan na buroni koyo se yenye disgrace ye sole de bia China ne te China de bia ho ne te enti se na wo me yan ka ho na be pese obekọ China bibia ye agi ye di hwehwanim ka on ye di video ne hu se ye adwuma
abusia ya odabo enso nsem a wode atudwa na yetie ye na chese wotwem a kwan a ye che wo mo a ye san ede ye che sebe foreign national bi ni the camera to no so if it's not leak foreign national say Ghana hankasa no obi koto so obi enya akwanhia kra no owo obedi kan twa beto monten so ansa obebo nipa na wa bo na ochem say IGP yerat Christian tete yohonu wonjina mu bi na sebe saa eye camera ne bloggers fo a nsem ekotwi kobrama nyina no wo mu di akire dindindin no wo mu enye den enyan ni nyina esanse eyade a entwa ye enim guasem na wo mu edi egu wo mu nkai se yenso yade hye ewo akwantuo mu ebiem now yemfri wei eso na yenkonsem foforo emuni a na ye nyina ye nim se eye chairman wuntimi a sebe wo no na sabre de wo ye beka ne se aspiring chairman de ma eye NPP amanyoko no ye nyina nim se ne nsem bi etweguo wo eye Ghana hanum se concerning eye mining ensensem a mene wo ka se ye signed the fresh charges abono na nsenya efa eye fraud with Exim Bank na enu so akwakeka ne cases no ehom ne lawyer lawyer appear could be waba bonten aba bekasa na ohwe screens no so a wo say want to miss lawyer appeals for prayers ahead of court appearance enti na chesesese no chema wontimi ne lawyer appear could be na aba bekasa wo twemu sese no be ansem no kika kono ye charges ni bia aba beka ho o mba kopie mu wo court enti wo mo sere se ye mompaye emfa emboa chairman wuntimi na ensem ne de afepo na ye ba be di niye ankasa ni nyina mu no ensem ne koso no na ebeto odwa se manager na woda akonta mining ano ana akonta mining ne ye wuntimi ne mining company no wa switch positions kakra ama wa ase wakodi the prosecution no afa any ade ensem ne de bebre ni ade ko so kodi plaintiff na afa any ade but say am ne o ka say wono na ye first witness the ma prosecution na wo mo nsem mo de aba betu dwansa ensem a efri Edward eku eho aba no enu nie o se want miss Chinese partners owned all the mining plant and equipment we used at Akonta mining. Entina wuntimi owo Chinese partners na woni omo adwuma ewo Akonta mining ho. Eno no wo chemu se machines ni ade a na omo de ye adwuma ewo Akonta mining ho no. Ni nyina na se ni nyina na Chinese for no edia. He knew them and processed bail for them when they were arrested. Inti ebetu baby no sa Chinese nationals na say Chinese for no ana wuntimi ni omo ye adwuma no ye che womo na che a ye che omo no ye che ma chema wuntimi ene gina mu enya bail de ema omo we testimony say no ye Edward Ekuoku no ye the former Akonta mining manager na say ono na ye first prosecution witness ono nso de ababeto emonten so na say day in day out no wuntimi case no is getting interesting in bits now me no ga say ne lawyer ni a wogina mu ama no lawyer apia ku bi say dem di kan ye no wato na nu tu akasa a cheche nsem ni mu a wochem say baby eduro ni de say say adani agrada de ni bi empaibo na ye hia de ama chema wuntimi yenko ni yenko tie no emraiba yebedi enkomo de afansem we eho.
The only thing is that we need prayers. We're working hard on these 3 cases. This case of Exim Bank has been adjourned for a month for the prosecution to prepare the documents and discover them so that we can rely on the documents in the prosecution. So we are fine, except that prayers are necessary. The point is that if you are the first to go to court, even the Bible says in the Proverbs that when you go to court and give your case, you need to wait for the next person to give his case before judgment can be pronounced. Yes, Proverbs 18:17. So this is the beginning of the Odi Partem rule that all parties must be heard. It is from Ecclesiastes, and we are confident that when our case is also heard, then the public will also have a sense of the direction of the 2 sides, and then we'll prefer our own independent opinions that will probably support the judgment of the court or be a critique of the judgment of the court.
Lawyer appear could be wono ye cancel de ma chairman wuntimi na wotwem say afei na wo mo ebehye ensem no ase eye na yate afenu mienu the plaintiff and prosecution no said the ensem no ebeko akowie charges a wo mo de abo chairman wuntimi no miensa enti abre de edro no age empaibo yinyina ye mompaye na ye mfantai chairman wuntimi echine na ebi no mo chese why person like why should we pray for Chema Wuntumi? Chema Wuntumi we ya na ni abre a wogina for chairmanship MPP amanyuko ni mu a ni referee class wo cases court no ade enti ne enkobo mpaye emfama no na no ada no odi birthday na no ada comment stage MPP obi ansa wo mo se de a wogina ni. Why should we come and waste our time and be praying for Chema Wuntumi? These are some of the comments among for Ede baby he has to be punished say no charges ede bono no ampase odi for ewo ho a ewo se ye twe na so papa ewo saa kwan ne so nti ma lawyer apia kubi me ka nche Ghana for say yen bompa yen fantai chema untimi echi sam pai bone de nya de ebetimi abo. So these are some of the reactions MPP for bebre so chemu a omo de omo tai chema untimi echi solidly they are rallying behind because they know say he's innocent ebinumo chemu omo bompa empa ndi ombe pa na asem no nokra bi ewo mu no etimi abede de na chema untimi etimi assign ni ti ewo kwedu ahodo a yede abono ni nyina eho nti say there we are monitoring closely and keenly baby the proceedings of this case no ebekwa koduro in particular with chema untimi ni ahwe say odi for ana odi bem ewo asem no ehom enti say the lawyer appear kubi aka no enche wo mo be court no ma hyase say wo mo more toward the proceedings of the case. The outcome no eba yebema ahwefo aso ate ewo ho nanso ni nyina mu no ye nyina ya de nyina okatachie efri fa na sabre de congratulatory messages flood in mano back to back ewo internet no eso say ye ka ahwefo a be ye afi mu ani afi ba ko ni echire kakra ni na okachete fifa de beto dwa se wo tukwa kwa manone na wo kwako ye course bi na enam ni school a wo ko wo gempa no na afi wa benya yes opportunity ni ntina nansen obehwe aye nheda entene nka gidigidi pa ewo ni show na wo ye for the records no eso emprepre de okateche fifa wo de abatudwa say finally class of 2026 waka hu bi wo mo graduate nti we share screens ni so na che say students wo mo graduate ye no every you con no ono nso eka hu ebia ne pictures etwaguo na amanfo ma no congratulatory messages na yebehwe nsem a wode ababeto emmonten eso enti wey every Patrick Yalbuama wono and say congratulations to Akatechi Efri fa mensa on graduating from the University of Connecticut School of Law with a Masters of Law in U.S. Legal Studies, Human Rights Concentration. Wishing you continued success and greater achievement ahead. International say, Yera Patrick Yalbuama, where Mrashibejani, one no chemu say, Womak Okatechi Free Fa, congratulations. It's and say, we University of Connecticut School of Law. And I say, Embra, and he went to do law. And say, Okra, Masters of Law. In U.S. Legal Studies and Human Rights Concentration. And they say they were more bonabaso sa achievement we ya wa achieve onakasa okateche fifa nankasa kra wa tweet ne hande wono nso abo no akasa ne ho abaso. Enti we shall say the son of a cocoa farmer from Asante Agona has successfully completed an LLM program at UConn. This achievement is a testament to his dedication and hard work. Hashtag focus, hashtag sechreniba, hashtag aguna nyametiase, hashtag precisely so. Enti onoso nsemo de betro eto ona cheso chema koko krieni ba ofi Asante Agona ene nei wono nso atimi akonanim ewo suehunu mu akwa baage LLM Free University of Connecticut School of Law ena enei wono ankasa nso ebo ne ho abaso ewo sa kwan no eso nti say de okateche free fa amanfo anu mu chem se o abrochi okoye no all be lie onkosua hwe ena NDC fo abaninti no ena onim se omo beto maintain because omo beka ya okateche free fa NDC fo ebetena so pe ene ye tetetete se ene ye betene ye national security fa kotebri no ochina we mu akofa no ene ade enokra nam so ema ne juma na oye no ne juma ne hwe no de be start for the records nti na bi chemu a opese o living a life to say Kevin Taylor enu nti na ono nso edwane akwakwohye US krono emu nanso ene o hye emfoni etwego ni ade de na eche se okateche fifa indeed said obeka ye no se okosua de ewo amanone no saa enete pepepe enti na nye the fact say odwane e de free eye NDC no omo governance no ase enti ebeja we so na yama no big congratulations for this achievement ni nyina mu no one of the major cases are nansen beto apono so na Ghana fo nyina e ka ho asem amanfo ani di eche bebre no fa eye Asante Achem North na hye bedwani eye okay Frimpong chi ayache no e wo the Netherlands no ho na emene woka say aba beto dwa say within the next 48 hours eye okay Frimpong ebekọ akwa mu ewo Netherlands court na afei wo mo ape na sem no anopomasi bre na ye be hwe ensem no aba betoja we efi CDR Africa na eba enti wo say the member of parliament for Asante Achem North Kwame Ohene Frimpong is expected to appear before a court in the Netherlands within the next 48 hours following his arrest at Schiphol Airport over alleged money laundering and romance scam related offenses into omo echemu dia na chesem ra shebedwani de ma Asante Achem North Kwame Ohene Frimpong enche within the next 48 hours no don hwere eduanan enwotwe entemu no obekwa akopie mu ewo court efa eye ensemu ayede bobo no money laundering ene eye scam ehun sensem or say sources say that the MP is preparing to challenge the legality of his arrest and detention. Meanwhile, Parliament says it is encouraging Ghana's diplomatic mission in The Hague as investigations continue. Entinache say womo echemu a wo pese woko contest anase wo chemu a che o mache no no opese wokogina na ohwe se ampasa asem no emra ema wo kwan so wo nche no sa kwan ne so ana enti within the next 48 hours there meka ne say Asante Achem North wo momra hye bedwani no oba kopie mu court e wo Netherlands that's wo mu emi say wo hwemu a asem ne etimi bua ano ewie na behwem so wodi fa na wodi bema ene ebetimi extradite no de akopie mu US because share no enti eba ne say US ensa ewo mu ebie ti ebekoso na yedi ensem we echi ahwefo na yedi updates bi ebepie mu beba no yedi abre ahwefo yenjina ensem we eso na yenda mo ase sem nya abre de ehwe Pinax TV